Hi, this is MattHawes of the Happy Show. I'm here today with another video vlog, and it's March 29th, 2008. That's Saturday. A lot of people come up to me and say, Matt, why do you give corporations such a hard time? And it's not because they're all inherently evil. No, I don't think they're evil at all, really. They're just greedy and soulless. No, not all of them, but a lot of them, unfortunately, are, it seems. And there's not a lot out there to dispel that notion for me. In fact, today I came across a thing in the AOL news section that was apparently reported on CNN about a 52-year-old disabled woman who Wal-Mart is suing. Now, let's explain this situation. As with a lot of things with corporations, it's not that technically they are wrong in the eyes of the law. Technically, they are correct, and they actually have a standing in some of these issues. But as far as ethics and morals, they're pretty much lacking, very much lacking. In fact, this is another case. Let's just go ahead and tell you about this. It's Debbie Shank, who, a 53-year-old ex-employee from Walmart, suffered severe brain damage after a traffic accident in 2000, the year 2000. The Walmart employee received about $470,000 from the retailer's health plan for medical expenses. The company is now suing to get that payout back. See, what happened was her car was demolished in this wreck, and the family sued the trucking company that was involved in the crash, and they won $417,000 after legal expenses. And what happened was they didn't know this. Of course, there's fine print in Walmart's health insurance policy. So if you're if you're working for Walmart, you might want to check out your policy with them. It says the company can recoup its medical expenses if the victim wins a lawsuit against a third party. They are quite within their rights. Jim Shank admitted. That's the husband of the woman who got injured. But he kind of figures, why do they need the money that bad, right? You know, it's Walmart, one of the largest corporations in the entire world. Debbie Shank worked at Walmart in Missouri, and the company spokesperson, they said that the Shank case was unbelievably sad, but added that the retailer is obliged to follow its rules. And apparently it's been a lot of bad news for Debbie Shank and her family, besides what happened to her, and besides first off, let's be honest, this woman, she's brain damaged. She'll never ever be the same again. This husband's dealing with the fact that his wife will never be the same woman she was. And then last summer, a week after they lost an appeal in their case against Walmart, their son was killed in Iraq. So this man's wife is in an accident. She's brain damaged and never will be the same. And then they lost a son of theirs to the war in Iraq. And the court ruled that they owe Walmart what's left in the family trust, which is about $277,000. Jim Shank, he's recovering from prostate cancer. He works 2 jobs and struggles to pay bills. Who needs the money more, he says, a disabled lady in a wheelchair with no future whatsoever? Or does Walmart need $90 billion plus the $200,000, he asked. And I think that's a valid question. He divorced his wife, but get this, he did it because he did so he could receive more money from Medicaid. We all know that all these silly little rules and stuff that cause people to have to do things that really they shouldn't have to do. Apparently this man, loves his wife, and he's, as far as I can tell from the story, sticking with her and everything else. He didn't divorce her for any other reason than because to make it work within the system so that they can afford to live. He had to go to this extreme. And it says he continues to care for her. He fears he won't be able to send his youngest son to college in addition to paying for her medical expenses. This is the kind of story that is why people, and not just me, many of us out here, don't care for the way corporate America, indeed the corporate world, is ran. It's done on the basis of purely making a profit. Rights of the company supersede the rights of the individual. People everybody, the corporations, they want us to sympathize with them and feel that we should see their reasoning in all this. Meanwhile, they don't care about the other side of the story. It doesn't matter to them, because what rights we have, what's ethical or moral or decent, doesn't matter. It's as long as it's in pursuit of the company's financial well-being. That's all that matters to these corporations. It's totally disgusting. One thing, though, that did happen that's a little bit more positive is the Siegel family's battle against DC and indeed Time Warner, the parent company that owns DC Comics, which they finally got some kind of headway in their legal battle. They've been fighting since 1999 to win back partial rights to the ownership of Superman, the character, and to Superboy. They're considered distinct characters, even though the original Superboy was Superman as a young boy, basically, or teen. And what happened was in 1999, due to changes in the tax laws in the mid-70s, it was allowed that if somebody was to bring a creation to a corporation, and that corporation bought it from that person, the individual or what have you, the laws were changed for a specific reason in this mid-70s, so that after a term of time, a period of time there, the original copyright holder, which is the person who sold the rights, the creator, more or less, they have a chance to renegotiate terms and flat out cancel the copyright that they gave to the other company after this period of time. And what happened in 1999, that was the next window of opportunity for the Siegels, which are the heirs to Jerry Siegel, who passed away in the 90s. And they decide not to renew the copyright agreement through DC Comics. And DC has been fighting that since 1999, so we're talking 9 years now. And it's been ruled that they do get ownership over a Superman character and possibility of getting profits that DC has earned since 1999. Since it doesn't go all the way back to the history, it starts from when they decide to terminate the copyright with DC. And DC, if they had, this is another case where if the corporations had been decent, technically, as with all this stuff, as with with the Wal-Mart thing, with the DC thing, somewhat with the corporations on YouTube. I say somewhat because they wrongfully remove videos they don't have any real claim to. But a lot of times the corporation is legally in the right, but they don't do the moral or ethical thing. And while, yes, legally they're in the right, isn't the law supposed to uphold morals and ethics and be fair and all that? But anyway, I digress. It's just, but if DC had done the right thing back in 1938 and given these guys a better deal and stuff, not so much in 1938 because who knew what Superman would be, but if they had treated the guys better throughout the years, once it was clear that Superman was this huge success. I mean, people all around the world know Superman. The trademark is worth billions of dollars in merchandising. If they had treated these guys fairly and decently and gave them a better shake once it was sure that Superman was this property that he was, then they wouldn't have had to face what they're facing now. In fact, they basically screwed over Jerry Siegel twice, because he presented the ideal of Superman as a young boy, as Superboy, back in the 40s, and DC declined it. The man goes off to war, and they decide to go ahead and publish the story while he was away, and put Superman, or Superboy's character out there, and basically screwed him over twice. So they lost the rights to Superboy, and that's, of course, still being contested by DC, appealing. And now they have this deal where they owe Siegel family part of the rights to Superman. The Schuster family, and I don't think he has any heirs. I'll have to read up more on that one. There's a reason why the Schuster family, the Schuster heirs, weren't involved in this. But that's my vlog for today, because I think I'm running out of time. And what's your opinion on all of this? I'd really like to know. So, yay!